Hi, welcome everyone. Hi, Raja sir.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I'm here.
So this is Abhishek, and I'm part of the growth team at them. Thank you for
Yeah,
taking your time and joining us for today's webinar. So to get started with today's webinar, the topic we are going to cover is how to use CPR indicator for intraday trading. And for this, today we have with us is Raja Venkatraman, who is the co-founder of NeoTrader and is heading the training division at NeoTrader. He conducts both offline and live market workshops, seminars, as well as webinars organized by NeoTrader. Raja Venkatraman has been working under the guidance of Dr. C.K. Narayan, his mentor and founder of Growth Avenues, for more than 20 years now. He is an active trader in multiple asset classes. He actively shares his opinions through YouTube and blogs at NeoTrader. He shares his views regularly on news channels in English, Hindi, on various news channels like ET Now, BizTalk, Radio Mirchi, Bloomberg, Wind, and Money Control. So today, Raja sir will be taking us through the topic how to use CPR indicator for intraday trading. And yes, sir. I'll just give you the
yeah,
host access so that you can share your screen, and we are live on YouTube as well.
yeah. So my screen is already live. You can
Right.
see, right? It's a panel, so I'll be showing the entire session on the panel. So
Sure.
is the
And
panel
just
visible?
yes, it is visible also. And
Okay.
just wanted to inform you that if anyone has any question during the session, you can write them in the comment, like the question box below. We will address those questions in the Q&A session end of
Yeah,
the webinar.
sure.
Thank
Okay.
you. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for the nice introduction. So welcome everyone to this session where we are going to be moving along the topic mentioned intraday trading using CPR. So CPR is a very powerful way to look at the markets. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to look at the world of CPR, how to find out how to look at the markets better, and how to understand this entire world of intraday trading through the lens of CPR. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'll be taking up some questions towards the end of the session. So let's get started. So as all of you are aware, this is going to be more from an educational perspective. So a brief disclaimer that goes alongside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I have learned over the last so many years, where more than 15 years plus I've been practicing in the market, trading, investing, and also sharing my knowledge with everyone, because I truly believe that everyone can make money in the market. Anyone, just about anyone, a newcomer, a professional of course makes money, but a newcomer always has this hesitation. So I'm going to show you how you can remove that hesitation using this particular tool. Every tool has got its beauty, so we are going to see how we can use this tool. And when you take a look at the entire scenario which I have been doing over the last so many years, I can see that people are enjoying, be it an offline workshop, be it an online workshop, people have been enjoying and the knowledge which we have been giving over the last so many years. And thanks to Dr. Narayan, I have learned all these tips and tricks to make myself presentable even on the media channel. Why? Because technical analysis is that foundation which gives you the confidence to trade the market. So be it a media channel, be it offline seminars, be it anywhere I move, I always have a very simple funda. This is process plus practice equal to profits. Everyone wants to make profits, right? Everyone wants to make profits. But then the problem is that nobody wants to do the practice. सबके पास प्रोसेस है, सबके पास प्रॉफिट इज ए एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव, प्रोसेस सबके पास है, बट होता क्या है कि उसको प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए उनके पास आइदर टाइम नहीं है या पेशेंस नहीं है, राइट? और इसकी खोज में चले जाते हैं वेबिनार के बाद वेबिनार, वेबिनार के बाद वेबिनार, और देखते हैं कि आज नया क्या सीखने मिलेगा। तो मैं सबसे यही कहता हूं कि पहले जो आपने सीखा है, वॉट एवर यू हैव लर्न, ट्राई एंड इम्प्लीमेंट इट, राइट? दैट्स द होल आइडिया. इफ यू डू नॉट इम्प्लीमेंट वॉट एवर यू हैव लर्न, you are going to have a lot of challenges. So now this is what I did, and I was able to win the Khiladi #1 award at ZNBC Avas. And what I'm going to do today is I am going to share with you the very same perspective which I have enjoyed, which I have shared, and all that is going to come to you through the next few minutes. So, all right. So please pay attention, take a notebook and a pen, and ensure that you are getting very, very good idea about what I'm conveying. All right. See, that's the whole idea, how you can focus on important elements, because if you don't focus on important elements which are being told here, then probably you may not get the gist of what's happening. All right. So we are going to see how to improve our focus, what is the basic scenario which we are in, and how to improve the concept of pivots and also CPR. Okay, so let's get started. So like I always tell, everyone in the market today are ideally either a T20 player or a one-day player or a test match player, but they don't know who they are. Correct? How many of you agree? Give me a thumbs up. आपको पता नहीं है कि क्या आप इंट्राडे कर रहे हो, मल्टीडे कर रहे हो या पोजिशनल कर रहे हो. आते हो मार्केट में इंट्राडे करने के लिए, फिर आपको स्टॉप लॉस पसंद नहीं है, उस पोजीशन को आप मल्टीडे कर देते हो, और इसकी वजह से आपका लॉस जो है वो बढ़ते ही जाता है. दैट इज द होल आइडिया, कि आपका लॉस बढ़ते जाता है और फिर आपको काम ही नहीं कर पाते, बिकॉज यू डोंट नो हाउ टू मैनेज द ट्रेड, यू डोंट नो हाउ टू मैनेज द मनी, and as a result you don't know what kind of position player are you in. You don't know whether to take forward a trade, you don't know whether I should carry the stop loss or I should execute the stop loss. And this is the biggest problem today with every trader, right? With every trader out there, you are having lot of issues who are while facing the market. So now when you take a look at the issues and when you see the kind of growth which we are seeing today, so this is a scenario more than 15 years ago when only Gujarat and Maharashtra were the popular states participating in the market. But come COVID, lots and lots of people joined the entire stock market bandwagon. And then what really happened when they joined the stock market bandwagon? The entire stock market scenario exploded, right? As you know that the market entirely changed, and this is the kind of scenario which you are seeing, is where the entire India started participating because there was nothing else to do. But then what really happened after October 2021? Markets started declining, and this corrective phase which we saw in the markets created lot of problems, and more than 58 lakh accounts were closed. So why did it close? Can someone tell me why did it close? What is the thing which they missed, right? सबको लगा कि सिर्फ बाई करना है, सेल करना है और उसके साथ पैसा बन जाएगा. बट प्रॉब्लम यही है कि इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग रहने दीजिए या मल्टीडे ट्रेडिंग रहने दीजिए, ट्रेडिंग करने के लिए आपको एक अवेयरनेस चाहिए, और अवेयरनेस के साथ आपको नेसेसरी टूल्स चाहिए. Along with that, you also have to develop your skills. So lack of knowledge and skills is what brings down everyone while participating in the market. क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि यह स्टॉक मार्केट में जाना है, बाई करना है या सेल करना है और उसका रिवर्स करना है और पैसे पॉकेट में डालना है. बट वास्तव में होता क्या है? आपके पॉकेट से पैसे चले जाते हैं. Why? Because you are in a hurry, right? Anyone who comes into the market, they think that yes, मेरा 100 रुपया का 200 रुपया होना चाहिए, right? Nobody thinks मेरा 100 रुपया का 120 रुपया होगा तो भी मैं खुश रहूंगा. This is the mentality problem which is there with anyone who is coming into the market. So now to ensure that you get rid out of that mentality, you got to work on it. So how will you work on it? Unless you think about something, and that is why you got to bring in the focus into the market, right? You got to bring in the focus into the market. Why? Because whenever you are going to participate in the market, please hear me carefully. You can always control the risk, the cost, the time and the emotion. तो क्या रिस्क है? आपको पता है कि आपका कितना पैसा जा सकता है when you start the trade, but you will never know how much you can make, right? So the thing is, you can only control this, but you cannot control the returns. You cannot control the returns. And this is the reason why people are trying to do so many things. But whenever I go and meet people, whenever I interact with people, be it a webinar, be it a seminar, be it a personal meeting, everywhere, everyone is trying to see how to focus on the other elements, right? The focus is always on the return. The focus is always on the return. Everyone wants कितना टका मिलेगा, 4 टका मिलेगा, 10 टका मिलेगा, 15 टका मिलेगा. but nobody is concentrating on these. Why? Because everyone thinks that this is not necessary. But then there comes a time in every trader's life that they realize that yes, probably if I had focused on this, the returns could have been better. How many of you agree? Yeah. How many of you agree that if you had focused on these elements, your ability to make returns would have gone up much higher? So now when you focus on the wrong things, this is what happens. So you all come thinking that you will make some quick money, then you last for a month, 50% quit in 2 years, and then only 7% remain within the next 5 years who are trading. So essentially what happens is that at the end of the day, only 1% of all the traders who are participating, this is even concluded by Nitin Kamath, so that they are able to make a profit from trading. Why? Because trading is not just about buying and selling, it's about managing many things. And if you are not able to manage many things, then it is very difficult to make trading as a successful journey, right? So now how to make this trading as a successful journey? When you shift your focus to learning. How many of you want to actually participate and learn, right? स्ट्रैटेजीज तो सबको करना है, बट किसको सीखना है? प्लीज टाइप LEA ऑन द चैट. मैं जानना चाहता हूं कि हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू रियली वांट टू लर्न. नहीं तो ऐसे तो बहुत सारे वेबिनार्स होते हैं, बट लेकिन किसको सीखना है यहाँ पे, राइट? Let me see some energy on the chat. How many of you want to learn? How many of you want to see what are the various ways to do things? And today, one of the various ways to do things is we are going to focus on learning, right? We are going to focus on learning and we are going to see how we can enhance our learning. And today's topic for learning is CPR. All right. Today's topic for learning is CPR. So good to see that many of you are interested to know about learning. So are you ready to learn? And you have given me the answer as yes. So that's good to hear that. So we are going to see now in this market movement. So be it any kind of market movement, it looks similar. Some ups, some downs, some sideways, right? This is what the entire market looks like. But then what you got to see is how can we find some opportunity in this market, right? Because every time we go, we are trying to find some opportunity. So opportunity is going to come using various sets of approaches, various sets of systems. So today we are speaking about a particular system. So let's see in this entire market movement, which we keep seeing all the time, how can we benefit, right? That's what is the objective. So now to benefit from such a movement, what we are going to do is we are going to focus on something called as mean reversion. Mean reversion is very important and it's very powerful. Why? Because mean is a central point of a data set. Okay. What is the benefit of a mean? Because a mean helps you to find out how far away the price is from the actual movement or how close is it to the actual movement. So based on that, you can plan your approach. Just like on any day, we are having a normal state of being, right? But some days we are very happy, some days we are very sad. But then most of the days we are having a natural way of being. So that is similar to the mean. Most of the prices are only moving along. On certain days, they get that enthusiasm and either they go up or some bad news drags them down. So that happens because of volatility. Now, how will we do that? We will try and understand the concept of pivot. So how many of you from here are using pivots? Please type PIV on the chat. मैं जानना चाहता हूं कि कितने लोग पिवट का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. How many of you use pivot? Because pivot is very powerful. And the concept of CPR, okay, good to hear that. Okay, awesome. All right, Chandu, Sanjay, Anuj. Okay, awesome. So many of you are using pivot, DJ. Okay, so pivot is very useful, right? Why? Because a pivot, you are able to know exactly what is the overall trend of what happened today. And when you have a pivot for the following day, you will know exactly how to action your trade. You know exactly how to action your trade. And pivot gives you an idea about the kind of sentiment. So pivot is a number which is arrived at based on the previous day's price action, and pivot helps you to anticipate the next day's move. So now it also acts as a very good support and resistance. We'll see about that. And when you have to calculate a pivot, you have to use the high, low, and close. Okay, you have to use the high, low, and close of the previous day. High, low, and close of the previous day will give you the pivot for intraday, right? Why? Because when you have a pivot value as a trader, it helps you to get an estimate of what can happen. And when a pivot value is available, you know that if a particular price action is going to open above the pivot, that means that you can tend to accept that the momentum could be positive. If the price action is going to open below the pivot, अगर pivot के नीचे खुल जाएगा तो फिर आपको समझ लेना है कि ये एक सॉफ्ट है, एक नमी है इस प्राइस एक्शन में, और ये नीचे की तरफ जा सकता है। तो आपको जब पिवट आप इस्तेमाल करेंगे तो आपको देखना है कि मार्केट का ओवरऑल संकेत क्या है। और जब आप मार्केट के साथ काम कर रहे हैं तो जब ये पिवट का नंबर आ जाता है, नेक्स्ट डे आपके पास एक इंपॉर्टेंट लेवल होता है जिसे आप जांच सकते हैं और उसके हिसाब से आपका स्ट्रैटेजी प्लान कर सकते हैं। सो इट्स वेरी यूजफुल फॉर एवरी ट्रेडर टू प्लान हिज अप्रोच। क्योंकि आप जब भी कब एक ट्रेडर पैसे बनाएंगे, जब वो उनका ट्रेड प्लान करेंगे। तो ट्रेड प्लान करने के लिए पिवट से बढ़िया सिस्टम कोई भी नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं पिवट काफी एग्रेसिवली यूज करता हूं और आज आपको मैं बताऊंगा कि ये जो कंसेप्ट है इसे रखकर आप काम कैसे कर सकते हैं। ऑलराइट, तो अभी हम चलेंगे और देखेंगे कि ये पर्टिकुलर नंबर जो आपके सामने दिया है, यहां पर पिवट वैल्यू क्या होगा? कोई बता सकता है मुझे? कैन समबडी कैलकुलेट व्हाट कुड बी द पिवट वैल्यू हियर? जस्ट सम स्पॉट क्विज हियर। या व्हाट इज द नंबर? कम ऑन फ्रेंड्स, व्हाट इज द नंबर? व्हाट इज द पिवट वैल्यू आउट हियर? व्हाट कुड बी द पिवट वैल्यू? व्हाट इज द पिवट फॉर्मूला? Pivot formula is high, low, and close upon 3. Correct? It's an average. It's an average for the next day. So this is the pivot value which you have to calculate, and the pivot value for this is around 15,684, right? So not OLC, HLC. High plus low plus close upon 3. Okay. Yeah, you all have got it. Okay, those who didn't get it, once again, one more example. Yeah, one more example. High, low, and close. So high, low, and close, right? High, low, and close upon 3. So when you have this number will help you estimate what should happen tomorrow, so that when the market opens, you are not caught staring at the screen. Correct? ये सबसे कॉमन एक्टिविटी है हम सबका। हम स्क्रीन को स्टेयर करते हैं और उम्मीद करते हैं कि उससे हमें पैसे मिल जाएंगे, बट आंसर इज नो। हमें सिर्फ एक्शन से पैसे मिलेंगे, और एक्शन करने के लिए आपके पास इंपॉर्टेंट टूल्स होने चाहिए। और इंपॉर्टेंट टूल्स को रखकर कैसे काम कर सकते हैं, ये सारी चीजें भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा। बट लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड एंड लेट्स फाइंड आउट हाउ यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस। सो यहाँ पर वैल्यू जो है पिवट का इज 35,207. So this is the average of the high, low, and close. So what is the message which I'm giving here? The message which I'm giving here is, when you have a pivot, you have an idea about what to do tomorrow, right? So now इस pivot को रख के अगर आप एक चार्ट पर देखेंगे तो कुछ इस प्रकार दिखता है। You got the pivot, and then you have the resistances which are calculated on the top and supports which are calculated on the bottom, right? So resistances है, support है, और जब आप buy करेंगे, the resistances are at work, and when you sell, these supports are at work. All right, so this is how a pivot is used. A pivot is a central point. If prices are opening above the pivot, that means that the prices are positive. Correct? That means that the prices are positive. If it is opening below, that means that the prices are negative, right? So let's move ahead. अक्सर अगर आप कोई वेबसाइट पर देख रहे हैं, अगर कोई फर्स्ट टाइम देख रहा होगा, वेबसाइट्स में आपको बहुत सारे नंबर्स ऐसे मिल जाएंगे, बट देन this is not enough to give you an idea, right? Now we will see how to make some sense out of this whole thing by understanding the concept of CPR, central pivot range. Okay, we are now going to get into central pivot range. We are going to find out how can you use them, and then I'm also going to be telling you how I use it in a much smarter way. So all that and more is coming up. So stay tuned and let's get into the concept of CPR and find out how can we action them. So the first thing what you got to know about CPR is CPR is very, very different. CPR is not only about finding levels of resistances or level of support. CPR is a very different indicator, and CPR has been designed by none other than Franklin Ochoa. He is a genius in the concept of pivot, and using his concepts, many people have started using CPR now. So what does CPR do? CPR is basically it's a wafer created around the pivot. So there is an envelope around the pivot which is helping you to decide what is the potential action of this particular stock. Isn't it wonderful? So what CPR does is it creates a wafer like approach. It creates an envelope around the pivot so that you know if this envelope is having a particular range, then you will consider it for a trended move. If it is having a particular range, you will not consider it for a particular move. So those are the kind of differentiations which you get. So now based on the central pivot range, what will happen is you will be able to look at the markets in a much better way. And when a CPR is made available to you, you will be able to look at the market and decide what could happen. So basically the essence of CPR is to tell you what kind of trend can emerge, and based on that you can decide your future course of action. So it's very useful on intraday, on multi-day, but today we are focusing on intraday. So now when you're going to talk about CPR, it looks somewhat like this. It looks like basically 3 lines, right? And here you got the top pivot, you got the bottom pivot, and you got the central pivot, right? So you have got the top pivot, bottom pivot, and central pivot. So these 3 lines, okay, this is the wafer which I'm talking about. So this top to bottom is together called as CPR. So when you read the 3 lines together, you have to read the 3 lines together. At the center is your pivot. At the center is your pivot, and the top pivot and the bottom pivot. So it's very effective to give us an idea of what can happen to the trend. So we'll go ahead and see that. Now, when you take a look at the pivot, right, and when you try and understand the concept of CPR, so basically when you're going to talk about the CPR, like I've said, there are 3 lines. Okay, there are 3 lines: the pivot, the bottom pivot, and the top pivot. So we know the formula for pivot, which is high plus low plus close upon 3. Then you have got the bottom pivot, which is the average of the high and low. Then the difference between the pivot and the bottom pivot is added to the pivot to get the top pivot. All right. So now let's go and see how can we use CPR for trading. So we're going to see how can we use CPR for trading. So are you guys ready to find out? Please type CPR on the chat. Come on guys, let me see some energy on the chat. CPR. So we are going to see how to use CPR. CPR के बारे में आपको थोड़ा समझ में आ गया है. CPR कैसे बनता है उसके बारे में समझ में आ गया है. अभी हम देखेंगे कि CPR को रखकर हम ट्रेड कैसे लें. राइट, दैट्स व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू सी. CPR को रखकर हम ट्रेड कैसे लें. और आइए चलते हैं और देखते हैं कि CPR में 2 बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं. राइट, सो विच इज व्हाट आई हैव पुट हियर. ये रहा आपका CPR. करेक्ट. CPR के साथ साथ आपको देखना है एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, विच इज द प्रीवियस डेज हाई एंड द प्रीवियस डेज लो. ओके, तो प्रीवियस डे हाई और प्रीवियस डे लो, ये दोनों चीजें देखना जरूरी है, क्योंकि मैं मानता हूं कि जब भी कोई प्राइस एक्शन उस प्रीवियस डे हाई के ऊपर जाता है, यू सी अ सब्सटैंशियल मूव. previous day high or the previous day low. And that is what gives you a very good idea for market participation. So whenever you are going to participate, right, तो CPR से आपको पता चलता है कि कैसे टाइप का ट्रेंड आ सकता है जब ये CPR जो है, राइट, ये CPR जो है, ये CPR जब नजदीक होता है उसे नैरो कहते हैं, और जब ये दूर जाता है उसे वाइड कहते हैं, राइट. So there are two kinds of CPR. One is a narrow CPR and other is a wide CPR. All right. So we'll check about it. So now when you're going to talk about the move, you can see here that the moment it crosses the previous day's high, you see a very strong move. You can see on any day, whenever the price is moving above the previous day's high, you will see a very strong move to the upside. If it is moving below previous day's low, you will see a very strong move to the downside. So this particular price action can be taken advantage of by anyone, by equity players, by future player, by option player. Anyone can take advantage. Now you can see here, once it moves below the previous day low, there is a steady decline to the downside. But then there will come times when prices will get stuck and they will not be able to move. Okay, they will not be able to move above the previous day high nor the previous day low. So when that is happening, okay, when that begins to happen, you should basically avoid that stock. All right, you should basically avoid that stock, and that is what will help you to stay contained. What is the biggest problem today? हम एक trade ले लेते हैं and then we realize that this particular trade is not moving, right? It may be having the best of signal, but it is not its day to day. So the most important thing which I have seen over the last so many years of trading is that it's a very simple concept, but then I use it every day. I use it every day so that I improve my probability of success. क्यों? क्योंकि हर एक ट्रेड एक प्रोबेबिलिटी है. ये सब लोग मानकर चलिए, हर एक ट्रेड एक प्रोबेबिलिटी है, आइदर सक्सेस की या एक लॉस की. तो ये सक्सेस और लॉस को हम कैसे कंटेन करेंगे? ये तब आप कंटेन कर सकते हैं जब आपके अंदर थोड़ी जानकारी हो और उस पर्टिकुलर जानकारी को आपने प्रैक्टिस किया हो, राइट. मेनी ऑफ यू हु आर लिसनिंग टू दिस वेबिनार नाउ, you might have many kind of knowledge into your system, right, into your mental system, but then how many of it have you really practiced it? तो ये सब चीजें मैं रेगुलरली प्रैक्टिस कर रहा हूँ और इसी के लिए मैं आपके साथ शेयर कर रहा हूँ, राइट. तो यहाँ पर देखिए कि जैसे ही यहाँ से एक मूव निकला, अगर इस प्रीवियस डे हाई के ऊपर अगर एक गैप अप होता है तो वो और भी बढ़िया है. तो गैप अप के बाद देखिए यहाँ पर यू कैन सी दिस एंटायर मूव विच इमर्ज, इट गेव अस 7% मूव, राइट. सो व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, द प्राइस should open above the CPR and it has to move above the previous day's high. So when that begins to happen, automatically you see a very strong move to the upside. So you can see here the kind of moves which are emerging. Now you can see that the same way the prices may open whenever. What would you do first? Yeah, can you all tell me what would you do first? As soon as the price opens, it may open with a gap, it may open. The first thing what a price has to do is, the moment it crosses a CPR and it tries to go up, the first question you should ask is whether it is crossing the previous day's high. If it is coming down, then whether it is crossing the previous day's low. So then automatically it qualifies. तो यहाँ पर CPR का क्या रोल है? यहाँ पर आप देखेंगे कि जब CPR नैरो हो जाता है तब उसका ट्रेंडिंग का चांसेस ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक बढ़ जाता है, राइट. सो नाउ इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. यू कैन सी हियर दिस गेव अ डिक्लाइन. दिस इज इन बैंक निफ्टी 8% मूव. ओके, सो नाउ फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू वांट टू टेक इट along with options, so what you can do is you can have your price chart and corresponding you can go in for a trade in the option. So you can see here, this is the price chart and this is the option chart. So what has happened here, the moment the prices, you can see here that the entire CPR is narrow, right? The CPR is narrow, and from here, the moment there is a narrow CPR, your ears should pop out. You should be very, very alert on a narrow CPR क्योंकि वहां से trend निकल सकता है, right? So always be alert for a narrow CPR, and whenever you have a narrow CPR, it is a good time to look at what are the possibilities. So you can see here narrow CPR, and then the moment it crossed the previous day high, you can enter this trade. So you can see here you saw a 100-point move in this particular option trade in Bank Nifty, right? Now you can see that this is again a case in Nifty where the prices broke the previous day's low. So what is happening here is that anytime the price is going to move beyond a certain point, right? You will see that either the price moves above the previous day's high or the price moves above the previous day's low. But what happens is the most important thing which all of us search for. Can you all tell me what is the most important thing which all of us search for when we are participating? Right? तो आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे जब CPR के CPR से जब ये ट्रिगर हो जाता है, right? So you can see here that the price did not sustain up and it came down and broke the previous day's low. What is the most important thing which you are searching while participating in any stock? Yeah. What is the most important thing? No. Yes. Very good. Trend is the answer because all of us are searching for a trend. Why? Why are we searching for a trend? So that we take a trade and we do not wait forever, right? As an intraday trader, we do not want to wait forever. So what do? We try to find out where there is a trend, where can we participate, and where can we take profits, correct? Take profits comes at the end, but to take you faster towards your profits, you need the kind of movement and you need that momentum which will come from a trend. So on every day, there are certain specific stocks that move, there are certain specific sectors that move, and that's how one should plan their trading day, right? Every sector does not move every day. So how will you find out the trend in that sector, which sector is moving based on that? So this is called as a top down approach. So all these things are essential for all of us as a trader. So now when you're going to participate, right? When you're going to participate in the market, what is very, very important? What is very, very important is whenever you are going to take a look at the market condition, whenever you're going to take a look at the market condition, you should be having right kind of clarity to participate. Why? Because most of us want to trade, but many of us are not participating in learning. So the thing is that when you are going to take a trade, the most important thing you should see while participating is while using a CPR. You should go in for a narrow CPR first. Why? Because a narrow CPR helps you identify the trend. Why? Because on the previous day, okay, because on the previous day, like let me go back to the previous example. You can see here, this one, you can see that in the narrow CPR, what does the narrow CPR mean? Narrow CPR means that on the previous day, the range was small, correct? If the range is small, then you will have a narrow CPR. So if the range is small on the previous day, you will have a narrow CPR. Now, if the range becomes larger, what do you mean by range becomes larger? If the range is larger, this is called a large range and this is called as a small range. So when the range is small, okay, then you will have a narrow CPR. When the range is large, you will have a wide CPR. How many of you got this? Give me a thumbs up. So whenever you are going to participate, you have to understand that yes, is it a narrow CPR? Is it a wide CPR? And based on this, you will be able to get the right kind of approach. So whenever you go ahead and take some trade, right? Whenever you go ahead and take some trade. Now, you have to find out how to identify the CPR, right? So that is something which all of you are asking. So I will come to that. Don't worry. So now in this particular scenario of market action, okay. So in this particular scenario of market action, so we will now go and see how we can do this faster. Now just imagine that अगर 500 स्टॉक्स में अगर आपको नैरो सीपीआर भी ढूंढना है, वाइड सीपीआर भी ढूंढना है, तो आपको कितना समय लगेगा? कैन समवन टेल मी कितना समय लगेगा आपको एक नैरो सीपीआर और वाइड सीपीआर में अगर आपको ढूंढना हो इन 500 स्टॉक्स? या एनएससी 500 आर द मोस्ट लिक्विड 500 स्टॉक्स. तो उसमें अगर आपको ढूंढना हो, हाउ मच टाइम यू थिंक यू विल टेक? लाइक सपोज एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इफ आई आस्क यू that you have to find out, maybe hours, right? Very correct, Arya. Maybe hours. Trading day will be over. Who else? Some witty responses I'm getting. और क्या होगा? Right? Trading day will be over is correct. And basically these challenges will remain. So now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how I'm doing it faster, right? Why? Because all of you are asking, yes, CPR. How many of you understood CPR? Okay, someone says quite easy, very good. But there are many people who are still having an idea, but they are unable to get the concept of CPR. So how many of you have got the concept of CPR? Okay, you'll get the data from NSE, but after that, what? After that, you have to go through script by script, right? So I am going to show you how you can do it very efficiently, right? So now the question which all of us are asking is, how can I do this more efficiently? Okay. Now, to ensure that you are, yes, there are a couple of screeners available, but I am going to be showing you a very powerful way. Okay. मैं आपको एक काफी पावरफुल वे दिखाने वाला हूं. तो अगर आपको सीपीआर समझ में आया हो तो प्लीज गिव मी अ थम्स अप. सीपीआर का अगर बेसिक कंसेप्ट आपको समझ में आया तो प्लीज गिव मी अ थम्स अप. सीपीआर के बहुत सारे कंसेप्ट्स है, बट आज मैं आपको एक इंट्रोडक्टरी कंसेप्ट आपको बता रहा हूं ताकि आपको समझ में आ जाए कि सीपीआर से आपका क्या फायदा होगा. सीपीआर इज नॉट अबाउट फाइंडिंग लेवल्स, सीपीआर इज अबाउट फाइंडिंग द ट्रेंड. क्योंकि अगर आपको ट्रेंड ही आपको समझ में नहीं आया तो फिर आप ट्रेड नहीं ले पाएंगे. ठीक है. सो हमने बात की थी सीपीआर. सो सीपीआर वाज अबाउट फाइंडिंग आउट व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट नेचर ऑफ द एक्शन ऑफ द प्रीवियस डे. तो प्रीवियस डे में जो भी मूवमेंट हुआ है उसके हिसाब से आज का सीपीआर बनता है, राइट? और सीपीआर एक पिवट का एक एडवांस्ड कंसेप्ट है, और इस पर्टिकुलर कंसेप्ट को रखकर हम देखेंगे कि कैसे काम करना है. तो काम करते वक्त हमें ये देखना है कि वेदर इट इज अ नैरो सीपीआर और वेदर इट इज अ वाइड सीपीआर, राइट? तो जब नैरो का मतलब क्या है, ऑल द थ्री लाइंस आर टुगेदर, सो बेसिकली इट इज लाइक दिस. एंड इफ इट इज स्प्लिट लाइक दिस, दैट मीन्स दैट इट इज अ वाइड सीपीआर, राइट? सो जब भी वाइड सीपीआर होगा तो आपको उस पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक या इंडेक्स में सावधान रहना है, राइट? दैट इज हाउ यू हैव टू कनेक्ट विद सीपीआर. नाउ अभी हम चलेंगे कि हमें एफिशिएंटली काम करने के लिए हम ये काम कैसे कर सकते हैं, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट एवरीवन वांट्स टू नो. Many of you are asking, how can we find out CPR? How can we do it more efficiently? So now let me tell you what I do. All right. What we have done here at NeoTrader is we have made this entire concept of CPR very easy to use. So let me just show you what it will do for you, right? This is how we used to drive the car, and this is how we want to be. How many of you agree? ऑटोमेटिक कार सबको चलाना है, क्योंकि आपको ट्रैफिक में रहने दीजिए, स्लोप में रहने दीजिए, बारिश में रहने दीजिए, कहीं पर भी हम ऑटोमेटिक कार ड्राइव करना पसंद करेंगे. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू लाइक टू ड्राइव ऑटोमेटिक कार? प्लीज टाइप ऑटो ऑन द चैट. अगर आपको मैनुअल करना पसंद है तो शायद आपके लिए ये वेबिनार एंड हो गया है. बट लेकिन अगर आप जानना चाहते हैं कि आप ऑटो कार कैसे चलाएं ट्रेडिंग की जीवन में, तो बने रहिए, क्योंकि मैं आपको लिए कुछ एकदम अद्भुत बताने वाला हूं. क्योंकि हमने काफी मेहनत किया है इस पे, और जो कंसेप्ट आपको बताया है और उस कंसेप्ट को लेकर आप कितने आगे जा सकते हैं वो आप देखेंगे अभी थोड़ी देरों में। तो हमने क्या किया है कि हमने ये जो पूरा चीज है, राइट, ऑफ मेकिंग इट easier फॉर यू टू पार्टिसिपेट इन द मार्केट, this has been done by our founder Dr. Narayan, who is the lifetime achievement award winner in technical analysis, and he has given us a very very good foundation of learning the concepts। और ऐसे concepts और बहुत सारे concepts हमने डाले हैं न्यू ट्रेडर में। तो आज मैं आपको बताने वाला हूं कि न्यू ट्रेडर के अंदर सीपीआर को रखकर आप काम कैसे कर सकते हैं। तो आइए चलिए देखते हैं कि न्यू ट्रेडर में काम कैसे करेंगे। तो प्लीज टाइप NT ऑन द चैट एंड हियर कम्स न्यू ट्रेडर। Neo trader is a very very powerful way to look at the markets, and this is Neo trader for you. I hope all of you can see. Awesome. NT on the chat. Awesome. So this is Neo trader for you. There are a lot of things, and we are very proud to be associated with Dun, and I'm going to be sharing some exciting announcement in few moments from now, which we have partnered with Dun, and अबाउट दैट विल टॉक अ लिटिल लेटर। अभी पहले चलते हैं सीपीआर के अंदर। ऑलराइट, तो यहाँ पर बहुत सारे फीचर्स हैं, राइट। अभी फिलहाल हम सीपीआर पर कॉन्सेंट्रेट करेंगे। तो सीपीआर के लिए हमारे पास काफी इंटरेस्टिंग पेज है, और उस पेज का नाम ही है सीपीआर, राइट। तो यहाँ पर देखिए, यहाँ पर पूरे सीपीआर में जो भी कामकाज होता है आपको डायरेक्टली आ जाता है। यहाँ पर सीपीआर वाइड एंड सीपीआर नैरो, ये डायरेक्टली आपको बन के आ जाएगा। कैसे? यहाँ देखिए कि अभी मैंने आपसे पूछा कि आपको पता है कि कल के लिए नैरो सीपीआर कितने हैं, वाइड सीपीआर कितने हैं? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो इट? प्लीज गिव मी अ थम्स अप। नैरो सीपीआर कितने हैं, वाइड सीपीआर कितने हैं, किसी को पता है कल के लिए? आंसर इज नो, ऑब्वियसली करेक्ट, क्योंकि ह्यूमनली इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। ह्यूमनली इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। So what we have done is we have used the very same concepts which I have taught you, and we have put it here. तो देखिए यहाँ पे जो ग्रे कलर में है ये सारे मिल जाते हैं न्यू ट्रेडर में, राइट। ये सारी चीजें मिल जाते हैं, एंड इन न्यू ट्रेडर you get to know what is the wide CPR, what is the narrow CPR, so that you can plan। हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव है कि हर एक व्यक्ति, ओके, हर एक व्यक्ति जो ट्रेडिंग करता है, ओके, हर एक व्यक्ति जो ट्रेडिंग करता है उसे आसान से आसान वे में बता दे, राइट। ओके, सम ऑफ यू हैव जॉइंड लेट। सेंट्रल पिवट रेंज, ओके, सेंट्रल पिवट रेंज, that is CPR wide, is where the three lines. What is a CPR? CPR is a set of three lines. You have got the pivot line, and there are two other lines which are formed above it. When the distance between the top pivot and the bottom pivot, when the distance between the top pivot and the bottom pivot is wide, all right, so wide means the visibly distant, then that particular scenario is called as a wide CPR. Wide CPR, narrow CPR, we have set filters here, and based on the particular stock movement, you can see that we are identified which is a narrow CPR, which is a wide CPR based on the CMP। हमने पूरा इस पे डाल दिया है। तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा, यहाँ पर आपको नैरो सीपीआर, वाइड सीपीआर मिल जाएगा। हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गॉट इट? गिव मी अ थम्स अप। दोस्त हु जॉइंड इन लेट, यू अंडरस्टूड, गिव मी अ थम्स अप। तो मुझे समझ में आएगा कि सबको समझ में आ रहा है कि ये आपको शाम को 4 बजे मिल जाएगा। At 4 o'clock you will get an idea। Okay, video quality is down। Is this the case with everyone? Just give me a moment। Okay, it's clear, it's clear। Okay, thank you so much। So okay guys, got it, thank you guys। So now narrow CPR, wide CPR, okay, yeah, thank you। So now not only this, at the end of the week, okay, at the end of the week, all right, so I'll tell you how to read all of this, don't worry, I'll tell you how to read all of it। Okay, I got what you're saying। So now at the end of the week, what we help you with is you can get the entire thing for the week. So now you can see here, this is the weekly narrow CPR and weekly wide CPR. So week का CPR, month का CPR, day का CPR, सब आपके पास आ जाएगा. Yeah, this is a browser, so I cannot change the background. Okay, this is a browser. So just hold on a moment. Let me just see if I can reduce the lighting here. Just hold on a moment. Okay, your screen is too bright. All right, just a moment. Just a moment, please. Just hold on. Yeah, is it better? Yeah, can you all see it now? Can you all see this now? Yeah, better? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, so what we are doing is we are seeing what is the CPR wide for the day, and this is the CPR narrow for the day. The same way you can see for the month, you can see for the week, and the month changes at the end of the month, the week changes at the end of the week. All right. Now, the other beauty is you can create your own watch list. You can create your own watch list. I hope all of you are able to see. You can create your own watch list, and based on your watch list, right, you can have the set of narrow and wide. So you can have your mix of cash stocks and FNO stocks. So the universe in NeoTrader is of NSE 500. So NSE 500 is our universe, and we have put together this entire algorithm, which is working behind the scene based on more than 45 years of Dr. Narayan's experience. We have put together the entire expertise, and we are showing you. The BC and the TC values. Yeah, the BC and the TC values are, yeah, the BC value will be lower. The BC is the bottom pivot, top pivot is TC. The BC and TC are above the pivot. So TC is above the pivot, BC is below the pivot. It means that bottom pivot and top pivot, it is a layer which is created around the pivot. It is a layer which is created around the pivot. Yeah. So if you see here, so if you go to the charts, let me just go back to the chart. You can see here that in this particular chart, you can see that if there are three lines which are close to each other, okay, if there are three lines which are close to each other, it is a narrow pivot. If the three lines are wide, it is a wide pivot. I hope you got it. This is the top pivot. This is the bottom pivot. Clear, everyone? Yeah, I got your question. The bottom pivot is the average of the high and low of the previous day. Average of the high and low of the previous day. It forms the bottom pivot. So you can see here, this is the bottom pivot. This is based on the high and low of the previous day, average, high and low of average of the previous day. And then the difference between this is added to the pivot, and you get the top pivot. All right. So now once again, let me go back into NeoTrader and let me show you that along with this, okay, this is today we are focusing on intraday, right? But I just showed you what you can do here. And this is the intraday, right? This is the intraday setup. You can see here that this is what happened today. Now, along with this, okay, now along with this, we also have a very interesting feature. Okay, we have a very interesting feature, and that's called as rolling ticker. So now this is a very beautiful page which we have designed where we keep on giving you lot of alerts about what is happening. It's a technical analysis alert system. It's a technical analysis alert system where you are continuously notified about what is happening. So you can see here that based on whatever we saw, okay, there is a facility for CPR. Okay, you can see here this facility, there is a facility for CPR. So once I click that CPR, I automatically get which stocks are giving me a breakout. And in this page of CPR, we have also graded. So this is the intraday page. Okay. This is the intraday page where we are grading. Okay. Where we are grading. Level 1 is the best grade stock. Okay. Level 1 is the best grade stock. And level 3 is where the CPR is developing. So any trade which comes in the level 1 are the ones to be traded. Got it? Now, if you go here, so you can see that the moment anyone is triggering a level 1 stock, okay, and any time a stock is triggering a level 1, you will get a message here. So can you all tell me any stock which you all have traded today? Let us see if it was a CPR trade. Any stock which you have traded today? We'll just see if we can see if you can get there and find out. Any stock which you have traded today. Let's see. Okay, Cummins. Yes. No, there was no trade on. It was not a move here. ITC. So ITC, you can see here, it is a CPR level 1 trade. ITC is a CPR level 1 trade. Ashok Leyland. Ashok Leyland was a breakdown, right? So immediately you got the trade at 935. So the advantage is that you can get the trade as it happens, and it is a completely qualified one. It is a machine. It does not have any emotion. It follows rules so that you also can start following them, right? I hope all of you are getting an idea now. Okay, I hope all of you are getting an idea of how it is designed. So here you get the entire perspective. You get to know right today in the evening after market, what is the stock to track tomorrow, right? You get here, what is the stock to track tomorrow? Based on this, you can choose your course of action, right? Based on this, you can choose your course of action and plan your approach. That's what we have to do. We have to plan our approach. And that is what a CPR helps you to do. And when NeoTrader is able to give you that solution, it makes it very, very easy for you, right? Yes, you get it in advance. You get all these things in advance. You can see here that we are at the end of today's trading session, and we already have what are the narrow stocks, what are the wide stocks, so that you can do your own analysis. See, everyone knows to see charts, but then nobody knows which chart to see. How many of you agree? Give me a thumbs up. चार्ट रीडिंग तो सबको आता है, ये चार्ट देखना है, वो चार्ट देखना है, आरएसआई डालना है, एडीएक्स डालना है, ट्रेंड लाइन डालना है, बट कौन सा चार्ट देखेंगे? दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट? अगर आपको पता ही नहीं कि कौन सा चार्ट देखना है तो फिर पूरा अंधाधुंध काम चल रहा है. अगर ट्विटर में सुना, इंस्टाग्राम में सुना, व्हाट्सएप देखा, न्यूज चैनल में सुना, ऐसे सुन सुन के आप लोग चार्ट रीडिंग करते हो, राइट? दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. So now if there is any situation on the indices also you will get here. So let's see on the indices. You can see that not much of activity today. So indices में ना ही narrow है. So basically it is just above CPR. So you are getting it as a level 3 trade. Finally managed to close above the CPR. So you are having a level 3 situation here. We need to see how it actions tomorrow. All right. So yes, in this everything is there. Equity, FNO. If you are from the cash segment, you can go to the cash segment, and based on the cash segment, आपको देखना है what is wide, what is narrow. You can check here. You will get the stock setup. All right. So level 3 is where the trade starts getting initiated, but level 1 is the one which you need to execute. Correct. और यहाँ पर आपको सारे ट्रेड्स यहाँ पर आपको मिल जाएंगे constantly right through the day. You can see here, right from the morning, you can see that the entire alert system is working to give you the message. So basically this alert mechanism is enabled to ensure that you are always in connect with the market, right? So this is how we go about, and this is how we ensure that all of you are able to get. So let's see some recent examples of today. So you can see here, this was in Jubilant Food. You can see that this was a narrow CPR. Narrow CPR से जैसे ही previous day high cross किया, you saw it moved up, and then it reacted into the previous. Always the previous day's high and the previous day low are very important. They act as very good set of support. So never forget it. That's why I have shared with you especially. You can see here, यहाँ से pullback आया और यहाँ pullback लेकर the trade went all the way. So 478 to 492, a 13% move. Fantastic, isn't it? Now, in this case, what has happened? Previous day high is the first level of support. CPR is the next level of support. So you can see here, price went up above the CPR, pull back into the CPR, and a late session burst. So I have taken this example especially to show you how powerful a CPR is and why have I chosen this to show to you. So यहाँ पर CPR पे अच्छा पुल बैक आया है और पुल बैक से एक अच्छा मूव दिख रहा है हमें. All right. So now when you see here, you know exactly how to action them, right? यहाँ पर देखिए, यहाँ पर again, what CPR is this? Can someone tell me? क्या CPR है ये? What kind of CPR is this? Come on friends, इतनी देर से हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. What kind of CPR is this? Very good. I got one answer. What about the others? Come on, बताइए. Narrow, very good. Narrow CPR. और उसके बाद क्या हुआ? जैसे previous day low तोड़ा, you saw this move happening. So now all of us like to wait for this, wait for that. ये होने दो, वो होने दो, उसके बाद ट्रेड करेंगे, इसके बाद ट्रेड करेंगे. तो वो जो आपके लेवल्स ऑफ फिल्टर्स हैं, उसमें प्रीवियस डे हाई और प्रीवियस डे लो को आप नंबर 1 पे रखिए, क्योंकि अगर वो हो जाता है तो चांसेस ऑफ द ट्रेड टू वर्क इन योर फेवर इंक्रीजेस बाय अ वेरी वेरी हाई नंबर. और उसके बाद जब CPR आप जोड़ देते हैं तो आपका प्रोबेबिलिटी बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है. सो दैट इज व्हाई I have chosen these two and I am showing it to you. All right. So now what am I going to do? I am going to show you how all of you, right? तो न्यू ट्रेडर यूज करके आपको बहुत सारे फैसिलिटीज मिलते हैं. तो why I am showing this to you? Because with Neo Trader you are able to get a market view. You are able to find out how to participate in the market, right? देखिए न्यू ट्रेडर में बहुत अच्छा फीचर्स है जिसे लेकर आप आसानी से काम कर सकते हैं. अगर आपको जानना है कि मार्केट में हो क्या रहा है, टॉप डाउन व्यू है. यू गेट टू नो व्हाट इज द मार्केट, व्हाट सेक्टर्स आर मूविंग, what is the stock, what is the breadth of the market. All these things you get to know in a very very nice manner. So the objective is that how you can participate in a step by step. तो top down approach जो है, right, top down approach जो है वो बहुत important है. तो यहाँ पर हमने ये डाला है. Yes, when you are looking at a CPR, right, when you're looking at a CPR, you have to ensure that the price begins to trade above the CPR. तो ये सारे चीजें मैंने डिस्कस की है. I have also done a course recorded. There is also a recorded program which I have done with Dhan. You can go and check that out. And if you want to know more, what I'm going to do is I am going to ensure that all of you get advantage of this fantastic software. We have tied up with Dhan, and I am inviting all the people who are attending this webinar to go and register on this particular link. Those who are registering on this particular link as part of this webinar will get exclusive access to viewing all of this. ये एक पेड सर्विस है, बट मैं चाहता हूं कि जो भी इस वेबिनार को अटेंड कर रहे हैं उनको हमारी टीम स्पेशल प्रिविलेज एक्सेस देगी. सो ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज गो एंड रजिस्टर ऑन आवर द लिंक विच हैज बीन शेयर्ड. इट्स एन एक्सक्लूसिव लिंक. Go out there and register on this link and you can be part of this wonderful software ecosystem. तो आपको पता चलेगा कि you will get access to everything. You will get access to even the CPR page. और जो भी हमने कवर किया है, नैरो वाइड, ये सब चीज आप देख सकते हैं, आप समझ सकते हैं. Right. So without wasting any time, I would invite all of you, because this entire thing is about how you can look at the markets, how to find the right sector, how to find the right stock, और टारगेट कैसे ढूंढना है, स्टॉप लॉस कैसे ढूंढना है. हमने इसमें बहुत सारे चीजें डाले हैं. इवन ऑप्शन ट्रेड्स आर मेड अवेलेबल टू यू. लेट मी जस्ट शो यू how we can help you trade options also. We have got a dedicated page for options where you don't have to do any analysis, right? We do the analysis and give you with entry, stop loss, target, everything is made available to you. So if you want to take advantage, the time is now, because as part of exclusive audience of Dhan, we are inviting everyone to go and register here, because as you're registering, our team is working on the back end to give you the activation, because we know that all of you want to enjoy this kind of success rate. Because I truly believe that सबको पैसे बनाना है मार्केट में, बट आपको सिर्फ एक हेल्प चाहिए, और वो हेल्प अवेलेबल है थ्रू न्यू ट्रेडर एंड धन. So we have tied up with Dhan because we believe that they are truly a very very robust partner for technology. और उसके लिए हमने इसमें और एक बढ़िया चीज किया है. अगर आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर, we are coming up with a fantastic breakout implementation, where you will be able to see the charts of every stock. जो भी आपको देखना है आप देख सकते हैं. देखिए, और उसमें CPR भी इनबिल्ट है. देखिए, इसमें CPR भी इनबिल्ट है. तो ये सारे फीचर्स आने वाले हैं. These are some breakout ultimate features which we are doing with Dhan, and you can see here that this is going to be released in the next few days. You can see here बढ़िया सा एक फीचर है जहां पर आप कोई कभी कहीं पर भी जाएंगे इन न्यू ट्रेडर, आपको ये चार्ट दिख जाएगा, और आपको बढ़िया सा स्ट्रेटेजीज मिल जाएगा, आपको ट्रेड मिल जाएगा, आपको चार्ट मिल जाएगा. आपको कहीं पर भी जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज चेक इट आउट. और because we are inviting all the users of Dhan to come and experience this, because we believe that Dhan के साथ आपका धन भी बनेगा, और इसके लिए आपको न्यू ट्रेडर जैसी अच्छी सॉफ्टवेयर की जरूरत है. सो न्यू ट्रेडर जैसा सॉफ्टवेयर, धन जैसा ब्रोकर, और धन जैसा और न्यू ट्रेडर जैसा जो रोबस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म आपको दे रहे हैं, उसे रखकर आप रेगुलरली काम करेंगे तो मार्केट से पैसे जरूर बनने हैं. क्योंकि मार्केट्स के लिए प्रोसेस चाहिए, और प्रोसेस और बहुत सारी चीजें हम इस न्यू ट्रेडर इकोसिस्टम में करते रहते हैं. So once you come and experience new trader, once you find out what new trader is, what 45 years of stock market experience can do for you, you will definitely see a steady improvement in your learning, right? That's the whole idea, right? All you have to do is participate. अगर आपको कुछ तकलीफ आ रही है, you can reach out to our help desk. There is a WhatsApp icon here. Our team will assist you, but do not miss this chance, because ये एक exclusive invitation है जो हम चाहते हैं कि सारे धन के लोग एक्सेस करें. अभी आप इनविटेशन पे आ जाइए. अगर आपको तकलीफ हो रहा है, अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, तो यू कैन गो हेड एंड you can ensure that you can put it on the chat box, because we are here to support you. And what I have taught you today is just the beginning of CPR, right? So in the time allotted, you can only get to know about a particular topic. Now what you got to do is you got to explore it further, and to explore it further, न्यू ट्रेडर विल कीप ऑन टेलिंग यू यहाँ पर नैरो है, यहाँ पर वाइड है, तो आपका जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है देखिए कितना बढ़ जाएगा, राइट? वी डोंट हैव टू कीप ऑन सर्चिंग एनीवेयर. Neo trader will do it for you. All right. So I hope all of you got some good idea about CPR. All of you got some good idea about Neo trader, and I presume that all of you are taking advantage of this exclusive offer. So this is an exclusive invitation to all of you. It is does not involve any payment. It is just a simple registration link. All you have to do is go and click on that link एंड थोड़ा सा कष्ट उठाना है जस्ट टू रजिस्टर दैट. ऑलराइट. एंड अगर आपको देखना है कि इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग कैसे और डिटेल में करते हैं, सो एक बढ़िया सा कोर्स भी मैंने किया है, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया विद अपसर्च. सो यू कैन गो एंड चेक दैट आउट एज वेल. सो वी आर हियर टू एम्पावर द ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटी. तो इस तरह के वेबिनार्स हम करते रहेंगे ताकि anyone who wants to participate in the market, they get the right kind of knowledge and they get also get the right kind of skills. बिकॉज नॉलेज एंड स्किल्स के बिना जब भी आप मार्केट में काम करेंगे आपका पैसा जाना निश्चिंत है, राइट? सो आई होप ऑल ऑफ यू एंजॉयड these few sessions and these few moments which I had with you. So I also enjoyed interacting with all of you. If you guys have any questions, you can load me up and we'll just take up some few questions right now. Otherwise, you can stay connected with us on this special invitation link which has been shared, and we'll be connecting again in some other webinars which will happen in the future. All right. Thank you so much. Over to you, Abhishek. Okay. If you're not
Yes.
getting registered, and what we can do is you can just leave your name and number on that particular help desk which we have, and our team will get in touch with you and ensure that they give you the access, because it's a privileged access which we have reserved for the Dhan community. All right. So yes, Abhishek, over to
Yes.
you.
Thank you so much, Raja sir. It was a very insightful session, and I got to see a lot of energy in the audience as well. And even we were live on Dhan's YouTube channel. There was quite a good response as well.
Okay.
And yeah, guys, I've mentioned the course link in the chat box below. You can check out the course, which is live on upsurge.club. And if you have any queries related to anything on, then you can write to us on Dhan community, to which also I've mentioned the link in the chat box. And we are like super soon going to announce the integration with Neo Trader. So for that, follow our social handles. I'll also mention them in the chat box as well. So once we are like completely integrated with the Neo Trader, you will be notified on all the social handles. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Raja sir. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. If anyone is having any issue, then
Yes.
you can ensure that you can go and register on that link, and you can also put it on the help desk. So I just saw some people who were putting on the chat box that they were having challenges. So our team is always there to support you and ensure that they will give you that privilege access. So वो जो access है आपको अगर तकलीफ हो रही है तो we will ensure that you get the access. Just put your name and number and just say that you had attended the Dhan webinar so that our team can ensure that they are giving you the access. All right. So there are another link also has been given to you. So those who have missed registering और आपको कुछ तकलीफ हुई है तो आप उस लिंक पर भी रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं और हम इंश्योर करेंगे कि आपको तुरंत एक्सेस मिल जाए इनटू न्यू ट्रेडर. या अगर फिर भी नहीं हो रहा है तो हमारी टीम ने ईमेल आईडी भी डाल दिया है, राइट? support@neotrader.in. वहां पर लिख दीजिए, हमारा टीम आपको सपोर्ट भी दे देगा और आपको इंश्योर कर देगा कि आपको रजिस्टर करवाए. सो डोंट वरी, यू कैन रीच आउट टू अस and you can reach out to us and we will ensure that you are getting connected with all of us. So all the communication messages on the links, the email ID, contact number has been given in case you are having any issue. Otherwise, if you have registered, then thank you so much. For those who have not registered, I believe that you will be sending us a mail. You will be dropping us a notification on the help desk so that we can ensure that you are connected with us. All right. So any other questions, anyone? Or we can end the session here, Abhishek.
Yes. So, if anyone had joined in late and you want the access to this webinar, it is live on our Dhan's YouTube channel. You can have access to it anytime you want. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much, Radha sir.
Yeah.
And that's all for the day.